The next part that we're going to do is we're going to work at evaluating the 12 areas of life. And I call this kind of a values embodiment. And this is another exercise that we do a few times in my book, but this is going to be for you. So it's not your kiddo's value embodiment. It's not the way that they're experiencing their life. This is for how you're experiencing your life. Because, like I said, this is about balance and being able to create a life for you. Because I believe, and the data suggests very strongly, that the more grounded a, a parent is, the more successful the child is. So my like tagline is, when parents are supported, children thrive. So just think about you here. This first part is these 12 areas of life, and I'll read them off for you. But what I'm going to ask you to do is give a rating from 1 to 10 on how important each one is for you. 1 being it's not so important, not at all. And then 10 being this is really one of the most important parts. And it doesn't matter. It's not what you think should be important. It's what is actually, oops, I don't know why that's going off. I apologize. What's actually important to you. So family, friends, parenting, romance, personal development, fun and recreation, mental and physical health, community and society, career, finances, environment, and spirituality. I'm going to set a 1-minute timer so that you can have a minute to just quickly rate these. Like I said, there's no right or wrong. So go ahead and get started. So here's the kicker. Now let's go ahead and look at those same areas of life. And you can even just like put a second column because you're going to rate the same ones. And we're going to rate them this time for how much time and effort this area of life gets for you. So go ahead back through these same ones and rate how much time and effort, 1 being not very much time at all, and 10 being a large amount of time or effort. And you can think about it across a week or a month, because sometimes we don't access all of these in, one day. But whatever is valuable to you is important. So just go with your gut. And I'm going to set another little timer here. So go for it. Cool. There's our timer. So now you're going to notice that there's probably some that don't really meet up. So if they are 2 or more points different, that's probably a really good place to consider for a balanced evaluation. And there's some different ways to look at that. If they are in balance, like just 1, or 2, depending on how you feel about it, and your gut is correct, whatever your gut tells you is correct. So just trust that. That might be a really good place to look for strategies if they're pretty close or they're the same, for how it could look like and feel balanced to you. I do, even though maybe you haven't met very many BCBAs who really like meditations and journaling and stuff like this, I use acceptance and commitment therapy, which is a part of ABA. And that level of mindfulness is what we're going for here. So if we can pull strategies from where we're rocking and rolling unapologetically, kind of without judgment, in that detached state, then woohoo, we already know a little bit of information, and we don't necessarily need as much intervention. And we already have strategies to fall on. If you're in a situation where something is really important to you on that first rating, and it's not getting nearly the same amount of time and effort, right? That's something to consider. We might want to put a little bit more time into that. A lot of the time when I work with people who are reaching, burnout and who are interested in more balance because they probably don't have it, things like fun, personal development. Sometimes for parents, it's career, especially if you're the parent who does the majority of the child care tasks, or is the one going to the therapies. I know in my family, I was the one kind of tasked with managing therapy and doctor's appointments and whatnot. So that, ate into some of my career time, and that was good could until it wasn't, right? And only we know where that line is. And this is just a tool to kind of find it. And then the other way is that there could be something that has an importance value that is getting more time and effort than the importance value. That's not to say that it's not important. All of these things are important to you and they're part of a full life and they deserve a place. And so we're just trying to figure out what is going to help get that place to feel right, because this isn't just about actions, this is about feeling most correct for you and for your unique you-ness embodiment. I use that word you-ness, like YOU-NESS a lot, because I think it means what is your individuality and what that means to you. And that's what I want to cultivate. And that's why I use all these plants, is because we're cultivating that you-ness, that individuality, and what it means for you to have the life you want to live, even though it's hard, even though it's scary. Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.